very oldest language on the face of this earth. Chico the Cabia Mapuni, Chineke, and son of the Wena Isala, Nina, and I was a handsome Yanina Jama, and Yanaka Faros, Okonana, all the other and then saw no one in and you went out of his and you went out young. Because you will make a difference with your source and you will not do but you know what? They would like you to believe that someone is the cause of it. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not possible. I have come. Look what you do. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what happens in 5 years to come. Thank you. Ask him, God is the Lord. Ask him, God is the Lord. Is you come on and let you. The more your daughters will be raped and abducted, the more your sons will be slaughtered in cold blood. And under one Nigeria, there is nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Because one idiot that they groomed will rise up and say to you, oh no, it's one Nigeria, there is crime everywhere. Haven't you heard about Zamfara? Haven't you heard about Katsina? There is crime everywhere. That is not the case. The crimes you have in the north, the insecurity you have in the north is as a direct consequence of their own actions. They grouped them. Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, ISIS in West Africa, Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, bandits, all of them. Who brought them to Nigeria? It's Fulani. Fulani brought them into Nigeria. Everybody brought them in. All the state government brought them in. Are you people deaf and dumb and stupid? When you come out and you pretend, oh, we are one Nigeria, go and show somebody was asking, where is the boundary, where will the boundary of Biafra begin? And I asked the fool, where did the boundary of Nigeria begin? people from Niger come in and go as they like. Most of these idiots are from Niger. They are building a pipeline to Niger. They are building a railway line to Niger. They are building roads to Niger. Whereas where the money comes from, which is Biafra land, we don't have those infrastructure. No, we don't. But you're taking our money. You come to Onaji. You come to everybody. You come to Agulere. You come to Ebo. You take our resources. Sell it, get the money, and now you're building a way to Niger. And you want me to be happy with you. Clap for your Nigeria. One Nigeria. I think you maybe not. You are insane. You come to my land, you take our oil, you take our gas, you take our manpower, you take everything, our VAT, our tax, everything. You are now building a road from Katsina to Niger. Airport to Niger. Refinery to Niger. You take oil from my land, you take it to Niger, you refine it, you bring it back to me as a refined petroleum. And you're telling me that country is viable. You're telling me that Nigeria should be supported. You are in one Nigeria. You are not going anywhere and you're dying every day. Because those that they appointed to speak for you, they gave them money so that they will come out. Pages of the newspaper to give the world the misleading impression that everything is okay when things are go and see the contradictions in it. Nigeria is not working. We are marginalized. And then you come back to say Nigeria is one. People stay in it together. Are you not foolish? These are the useless intellectuals that you have. On one hand, say Nigeria is not working. You are marginalized. You are being discriminated against. You are suffering. They are killing you everywhere. And you come back to the same place and say Nigeria must be one. Had Nigerians gotten together to say they want to be part of this useless contraption, that's entirely their business. I mean, Democrats have subscribed to it. But have you asked yourself this question? Why is it that all those asking you to remain in one Nigeria has something to gain from Nigeria, or they have benefited in the past? Nothing more, nothing less. I saw the letter that Biafra wrote to President Biden. In it, Biafra said, come and help us fight terrorism in order to ensure that there will be no regional destabilization. That is their game plan at the U.S. State Department for very many years, until we stepped in. They keep trotting out these lies. Once Nigeria breaks up, there will be destabilization because you don't understand African history. Most of these people are not people. When I say they say I'm insulting them. No, I'm not insulting you. Most of them think in Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. We always go back to our village where we are born, where our umbilical cord, our long, where it was buried. That's where we come from. That is why every Christmas, Easter, New Year festival, or August meeting, you see us migrating back to where we come from. And I keep saying these things to Africans, they don't understand it. They don't understand it. Everywhere in Africa during Christmas, if you like, be in South Africa, if you like, let it be in Kenya, let it be in Rwanda, everybody from the capital goes to the village. If you go to Accra, the same thing happens. This past Christmas, if you like, go to Cotonou. Prayer of David from the book of Psalm, chapter 7. And I will pray in English because a lot of people are listening all over the world. I mean, a lot. Millions are listening all over the world. And I want them to follow our proceedings this very evening. Very, very critical, very, very important that we do so. O Lord, my God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, we take refuge in you. Save and deliver us from all that pursue us. Because if you look away from us, they will tear us apart like a lion and rip us to pieces with no one to rescue us. Because the world is against Biafra for no reason. We are hated, we are despised for no discernible reason. Only thee, O Lord God Almighty in heaven, is our Savior, not man. You must come to our rescue because you are our Lord and you are our God. If we have done this, if I have done anything, if there is guilt on my hands. If I have repaid anybody, be it friend or an adversary, with evil or without cause, have done wrong to any man or woman, then let the Fulani Janjaweed pursue and overtake me. Let them trample down my life to the ground and make me sleep in the dust. Arise, O Elohim, Adonai El Shaddai, in your anger, rise up against the rage of the Fulani Janjaweed Caliphate and the Zoological Republic. You will rise and you will fight for your children. You will awake, O Heavenly Father, Lord God Almighty, the creator of the heavens and the earth, the owner of the universe, for you must decree justice. Let your children and all men and of goodwill gather around you while you sit on top of your throne in the highest of the heavens, the habitation that only thee can ever occupy. Only you, O Heavenly Father, will judge the people. You will vindicate me. O Lord, you will vindicate IPOB. You will vindicate your children of Biafra according to our righteousness, according to our integrity. O Most High, bring an end to the violence of the wicked. Bring an end to Fulani Janjaweed violence in our land. Bring an end to their abductions. Bring an end to their kidnappings. Bring an end to their extrajudicial slaughter of the innocent. Bring an end to their forced conversion of Christians into Islam. Bring to an end their mediocrity. Bring to an end their senseless feudal rule. Bring to an end their evil and their deception. Come and secure the righteous, because only you, O God Almighty in heaven, can see in the dark. Only you know the hearts of men. You are our shield. We have nobody. Between 67 and 1970, the whole world ganged up and fought against your children. We did not steal anything from anybody. We did not go after anybody's possession nor inheritance. We were on our own in the land that you gave to our ancestors. They conspired, they connived, they colluded to kill us. Over 5 million people. We are dead at the end of it. You are our shield. We do not trust in any man or in any state. We trust only in thee, because you are God and you always save the upright at heart. Anybody whose heart is clean, O Heavenly Father, to those you do not abandon to their enemies. That is why you cannot abandon IPOB. That is why Biafra can never be abandoned. Because your words are yea and amen. You are God, you're not human. Facebook may have been bought over by Nigeria, and we pray that Twitter will not succumb to their threat. Violence. You are God and you are an upright and a just judge. But you are also a God that displays his wrath every blessed day. If Fulani Janjaweed do not relent in what they are doing, if the Fulani Caliphate continues to pursue this scorched earth policy of abductions and murder and mayhem, then you, O Lord God in heaven, you will sharpen your sword. You will bend and string your bow. You will prepare your deadly weapons. You will make ready your flaming arrows. Whoever is pregnant with evil conceives trouble and gives birth to disillusionment. That is what is happening in the zoo called Nigeria. Nigeria is pregnant with evil because it conceived trouble and it has now given birth to disillusionment. All the holes that the Fulani Janjaweed are digging for us into that pit, they are falling into one after the other. The trouble that they have caused will always rebound on them. Their violence will come down on their own heads. O Heavenly Father, for we shall give thee thanks always, all the days of our lives, because only thee is righteous. We shall sing songs of praise unto your holy name, O Most High. For as long as there is a child on this earth of Biafran descent and heritage, O Heavenly Father, we shall worship your name and your name alone, now and forevermore, we pray. He said, that was our prayer this evening. We are now going to proceed without further hesitation to bring to you the gospel which I have been mandated by heaven to preach to the children of men.
I want every one of you to remember these three words. Nigerians, we are no more. Southeasterners and Southerners, we cannot become. And Biafrans, we must be. What are the declaration of the 2nd December meant to achieve? At least it is no longer a question of uncertainty. It is no longer a question of whether we are unsure. But I believe the message of the Declaration of the Restoration of Independent State of Biafra on the 2nd of December 2024 has penetrated even to the bone marrow of the enemies. So the question, and the big question, is what do we intend to achieve? They have mocked us that we are in exile. But what the truth that they are not telling themselves is that we are not only in exile. We are actually more in the homeland than what we are in exile. The truth, there is a feast to them, which they continue to deceive themselves, is that every blessed Monday in Biafra land, we demonstrate that we are not just in exile. The truth is that whenever we should either them or the forceful lockdown of the Nigeria state institution in Biafra land, like we have declared from the 28th day of this August to the 26th of September, those who call us government, those who say we are in exile, will start crying. They will start all manner of propaganda, panicking, sending military terrorists in our land to try to, see whether we can change our mind, thinking that by killing our people, the pressure will, force us to change our mind. These are the things that they are not telling those gullible, idiot criminals in Nigeria that are believing in one Nigeria just because they have found themselves in a safe haven where they can commit crimes, international crimes and cyber crimes, and they will be bragging in their various communities for making money through crime. So they lie to themselves that, oh, don't listen to him, they are just in exile. Yet, each time we make any pronouncement, it becomes a problem to them. So the big question is, what do we intend to achieve from the 2nd of December? My supporters in the United States, Biafrans in the United States, we have at least two objectives we want to achieve two things from this 2nd of December declaration. These two things are the delegitimization of the Nigeria state within Biafra land and the legitimization of Biafra government within Biafra land and beyond. Our declaration will cover all grievances against Nigeria, the injustices against Biafra people by the Nigeria state, the harms suffered by the Biafra people within Nigeria. This has a standard way of delegitimizing Nigeria as an existing state and, of course, legitimizing Biafra as a new independent state. These grievances, the Biafra government have constituted a committee called the Declaration Drafting Committee that is putting and penning down every grievances we have against Nigeria. And there is the latest one, which is the student loan. Many of you have seen in the news that they have approved a student loan from every geopolitical zone, but they excluded Southeast, part of Biafra. That is technically accepting partially the declaration that is coming on 2nd of December. They're already telling us to go. But what they have refused to understand is that they don't define our map. We define our map. It is not them. They are still using the colonial mentality of giving them the demography, changing the demography for them. This is 21st century, where the people are wise and we know our boundaries. We know our land. You don't tell us where our land is and come from Yoruba land to tell us where your boundary ends, or come from the Fulani Caliphate to tell us where your boundary end, our boundary end. No, that was then. During the time of Usman Danfodio and during the time of Babangida, where you use your military degree to do whatever you want. This time around, it is not going to work like that. We know our boundary. Our boundary has been defined by the Biafra government. Our states and institutions has also been put in place by the Biafra government. So our declaration is going to state very clearly the grievances we have against Nigeria, why Biafra has come to become a remedy. Now, I use instances always, making references to the United States. Just as in the 1776 of the US Declaration, when they become a new state, then they presented this particular new state of the United States as the only remedy the listed grievances for them to declare the independence of the United States. Biafra will be presented to the world as the only remedy to the insecurity that Nigeria has created in quest to bring Islamization of Nigeria and, of course, that turn Nigeria into Islamic State. We are going to present Biafra government as a remedy to the United States, to the West, and to every other world power that cares to know. Part of the grievances will be the killings by the terrorists and the high-level corruption and political crisis that Nigeria has found itself today without any solution. Since the last election, which the European Union condemned, which the United Nations condemned, which the America condemned, and faulted everything that has to do with the result of the last election. Yet, they are recognizing the criminal who called himself Tinubu as the president. Because Nigerians are stupid. Nobody rise up against, because everybody have been captured and enslaved with terrorism. If you do the killing, the assassinating. That's why many of them are bragging. Whenever we talk, they say, Samanaka, come to Nigeria so we believe you. Do you know why? Because they think that we are going to be as stupid as those people that have killed in the past. Kensaro Wiwa, should we start mentioning them? Anybody that rise up to challenge the impunity of the Nigeria state, the terrorist state, they eliminate the person. What is the other name? The Yoruba man. Gani Fawemi or whatever he's called, he was assassinated. These are people who think they can make changes within the Nigerian state. It's impossible. Even this criminal called Tinubu, he ran away. He would have been killed by the military administration then, because he thought that he can have any political movement, to change whatever he want to change then, before he came back to become the governor. He ran away to exile, and probably France, because I know he has a very good relationship with people in France. Now, just like the United States, we are going to present Biafra after 2nd of December as the only remedy to the political crisis in Nigeria today. We will present Biafra as the only remedy to the upsurge of terrorists in the Sahel. I am telling you, nobody will see what we are doing today as a government in exile and don't give us that particular opportunity. We have proven beyond reasonable doubt that as Nigeria as a failed state, the only remedy that will save the life of people and also save the interests of the West, because no matter how you want to say it, we still have to protect the interests of the West, which goes a very long way in making sure that our society still remain in a sane, we still remain in a sane society, both in conflict-wise, insecurity-wise, national security, and what have you. So Nigeria no longer function as a law-governed state, capable of resolving its current political and economic crisis. My people of Biafra, our declaration in December is providing a remedy, providing alternative to the Biafra people and to the world, and to those who have business interests in the area, in Sahel region, and in Nigeria as a whole, because this is going to affect them positively. So Nigeria have found itself in a situation where they have become incapacitated. They are not capable of resolving every crisis that they are facing today. So the state is already a failed state. So what are we going to do in December 2nd? Our declaration will offer solution. And like I said, remedy, remedy, remedy to the economic crisis, to the insecurity, to the upsurge of terrorism, and what have you. And we believe that those who supported Nigeria to commit genocide against Biafrans in the 60s must be very ashamed of themselves today. Though we can see that many of them who are very corrupt, I am talking about those in America, for example, like, some of them we have seen removing Nigeria from the list of, special interest of a state that have committed crime against Christians, for example. Those who remove Nigeria without investigation, they are struggling very hard, trying not to look stupid by their continuous support for the Nigeria, even when they knew that Nigeria is already a failed state. The more they try to revive Nigeria, following their fake diplomatic ties, and the more Nigeria will continue to fail them. So, my people, there is no two ways about it. This time around, we have come to outsmart the nomadic system of Nigeria. And of course, our aim and objective is to bring and restore true democracy in Biafra land, which will affect the entire region. After December 2nd, we will move to the next level, which I call the phase 2 of the Biafra liberation, which this phase 2 will see the establishment and the activation of the state institution within Biafra land, which is already functional as I speak. That will take over the Nigeria state functions. We take over the functions of other institutions from the Nigeria state, and that is the part of the delegitimization of Nigeria. And by announcing the United States of Biafra commitment to several international sanctioned principles, policies, and international recognized organization that Nigeria never had, we are going to make sure we approach every international organization that Nigeria has violated their treaties with impunity, providing Biafra to them and presenting Biafra as a remedy and alternative. With what we have done so far, we have been able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that you can't forge any document in Biafra and present it anywhere. We have eliminated the possibility to forge document, unlike the runners and all the criminals in Yoruba land are doing. That's what they do. They make a living by forging. So my people in the United States, for those who are very, very unsure of what will happen after December 2nd, I am telling you now, giving you a hint. Our declaration of independence or declaration of the restoration of independence of Biafra will be expected to legitimize the Biafra government in the eye of other non-terrorist states. This is going to take a very long time, and it requires many diplomatic approach, political approach, and of course, it also requires commitment from the Biafra government, which I believe we are not shaking from that end. In turn, we will be expected to recognize Biafra, and we don't care how long this will take. This kind of legitimization of Biafra state will be culminated in the quest or in our request or appeal to other states and international organizations to recognize the independence of Biafra. Our grievances that we expected to be listed on the declaration document has been drafted or has been drafted by our committee on the declaration of the declaration drafting committee will include the grievance declaration, the institutionalizing declaration, and the commitment declaration. I want you all in the United States to listen to this. Very, very important. We are going to have 3 major grievances in our declaration document. And so, if you don't know what we are doing, we are fighting Nigeria academically. We are fighting Nigeria with brain. We are fighting Nigeria physically, and we are fighting Nigeria with gun. So what am I? Let me repeat it again. I said the declaration of the restoration of independence of Biafra will cover 3 major grievances. One is grievances declaration, institutionalizing declaration, and the commitment declaration. And this different declaration will be elaborated during the time of our convention in Finland. So when you come to Finland, you're going to have first-hand information, and you are going to read the history, be part of the history, and stay where the history is happening, so that you will not say they told you, or you will not say you watch it from the social media. No, you are going to be there. Those who are privileged to come to Finland, you will be there to witness this thing yourself, how it is done. So, and then after that, you know, when I made a video the other day to explain to Biafrans, who will be expecting that immediately after the declaration, the police will disappear from Biafra. No, the military will disappear. Of course, most of them use it to do propaganda, which doesn't move us. Because the thing is that they don't know what we are doing. They don't have the information, and they will never have the information. And even if they do, they will never support Biafra. And we don't expect everybody to support Biafra. Like I've said previously, even this Finland, when they voted 88 over 100, you know how many that voted for Finland Declaration of Independence. So what I'm trying to say is that the United States, those Biafrans in the United States, all of you must understand that the declaration of the restoration of independence of Biafra in December is going to come with a heavy Edwakanono. Edwakanono to the enemies, both the outside and within. And so we are going to be taking a little bit step forward to the Edwakanono that is happening presently. It is a must. So those who think that Simon Ekpa is laughing at them or laughing with them, my brother, don't look at this laugh and this face. I have always warned, if you follow this face, you'll be deceived. I am not here with a clean eye, fighting for Biafra, fighting against Nigeria Islamic State, fighting against the terrorist state of Nigeria, Ejira Anyoma, and Osa Nigeria. Don't look this face, it will deceive you. I want to assure you that in the coming weeks on this lockdown of Nigeria institution is going to be a litmus test of what is to come. We will continue to prove to Nigeria terrorist state that they have lost every legitimacy to govern anybody in Biafra territory. That's our target. There is no other target we have. The reason why this 1 month lockdown of Nigeria institution in Biafra land is to prove to them that they have lost the legitimacy. And if they try to bring those terrorists to kill our people and put it on Biafra people who are ready to take it upon them or take it with them, we are not going to move any inch backward, in the sense that when they try to kill people, they say, oh, Samanepa put the lockdown, they are locking. That is what. If you make yourself a willing to, you have yourself to blame, and your family will ever regret allowing you to be used as a propaganda machine by the Nigerian state. Nothing is going to come out of it, I promise you. Do not fall a victim of the Nigerian state because of your hatred for freedom. Do not fall a victim of the Nigerian state because of the peanut you receive from the secretariat. Secretariat will be raised in time to come. I am telling you, we are still watching them. Let any secretariat open and you see what Biafra is going to do to that secretariat. That land belongs to us, and we dictate and decide how we use it. And after that, we will rebuild our land. So Biafra government needs your support to make sure that we achieve this particular step-by-step delegitimization of Nigeria until December, when we will have our convention in Finland.
Valentine City Boy, who wants to know your next line of action as the Nigerian government is yet to give IPOB a referendum date.
We don't do what we do based on the timetable of the Nigerian government, because we know that Nigeria is a sick state run by parasites. I repeat, it's a very sick political enclave. It is a criminal enterprise. Nigeria, the way it is presently constituted, is a criminal enterprise. It is worse than mafiosi. What is happening in Nigeria is an organized gang of criminals and rogues making the lives of other people a misery. And they enjoy it. And they play on the ignorance of those who are half educated, that knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. They are the ones that tell you that they hold PhDs, but there is no light in their bed. That is how foolish they are. I do not wish to be part and parcel of that very disgraceful arrangement. So what we are saying in effect, if anybody claims to possess any iota of reasoning capacity, they ought to realize by now that Nigeria is unworkable. Can never work, not now, not tomorrow, not in the next 100 billion years, it will never work. Never.
Mazi, I just have to say this to our viewers and those of you who are just joining us. The name of the program is Rose on All Sides. My name is Rose Peter Graham, and we are having an interview with the servant leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. He's reaching us now from Germany, and I've been reading out questions of contributors to him, and the next one is Chigozie. You have to pardon me. Chigozie Ekpanta. He asked if at the end of the day the Nigerian government continued to delay and even refused to call for a referendum, what would you do, and what should Biafrans and lovers of freedom expect from the United Nations?
I am not at liberty to divulge matters of confidential nature, how far we have gone, and how determined we are to make sure we push through our agenda of global recognition. But we are doing that. And as I said previously, we are not dependent on the timetable of Nigeria, because we possess the resources that they require. And I've gone on record before to say that oil and gas means nothing to us. We will gladly and freely give it away to people. We want our freedom. We are not fighting for Biafra because of fossil fuel, because the greatest natural resource you can ever possess is your brain. They traveled to Japan so that Japan, a small, tiny country, Japan, can help the whole of Black Africa. Disgraceful and shameful. Japan is very small. Japan has no coal, no gas, no oil, nothing. But people with gas, oil, aluminium, bauxite, gold, everything is running to Japan that has nothing for help. We should all be ashamed of ourselves. All of us ashamed of ourselves. We're a disgrace to humanity, I assure you. Now, the point is this. What we intend to do to accomplish Biafra, what we do on the surface is about 20%. That's what people see. The rest of the work we do, people don't see. But our march is unstoppable. And we are not bound or shackled to the dictates of the Nigerian hopeless.
Of the struggle. Let me just read out this last question quickly, and then we go to that question. It's Ebere Chukwu Okoro, who wants to know what you think about the Revolution Now movement and why it died off after a few canisters of tear gas. And he also would like to know if there are any plans in place to assist Sowore out of prison, and he feels Sowore has been abandoned by his people.
He has been abandoned because they don't understand. Previously, when we started, they thought freedom fighting is a joke. It is only IPOB that can carry out a revolution in Nigeria. And I wish others can recognize that as well. Now they have seen how resilient we are. They did not last up to 8 minutes. At the sound of one canister of tear gas, they all boarded the nearest Molue and disappeared. All of them. They don't know that what Sowore is doing is sacrificing his freedom for theirs. They don't understand it. Your average Nigerian does not understand the meaning of a revolution. Do you know why? Because there is no commonality of interest or value. The way a Yoruba man sees Nigeria is not how a Biafran sees Nigeria. It is not how a Fulani man sees Nigeria. It's not how a TV man sees Nigeria. Everybody sees Nigeria differently. That is why for you to organize Nigerians to come together, to do anything that requires the shedding of blood in order to accomplish a better living for everybody will never ever work. And I hope and pray, well, first we'll campaign for sure to come out with, but I hope and pray that when it does come out, he will fight for the Duduwa Republic.
Mazi, I would like to draw your attention to this. There is too much verbal attack and bullying on social media from your supporters to any other person who do not share their view. And I am pretty sure that you are not in support of cyber bullying, or this is the way that you think, you deem fit, following, the direction into actualizing your freedom.
We are the ones who should be aggrieved. We were killed, massacred at war. Nigerians laughed at us. We were killed at Headbridge on it. They laughed at us, and the most of course, they are black people, what very wicked and evil. They killed us again at National High School. They were sneering and laughing at us. Don't you think that we have the right to be angry and upset at such people? If they don't attack us, we won't attack them. But for anybody to think that they can ridicule, insult, pillage, or malign IPOB into submission, such people are dreaming. We feed and we thrive on. The more you insult us, the more you attack us, the more stronger we become. All it will end up doing is achieving the opposite effect. If you think by coming out and insulting and ridiculing IPOB that you will somehow get one over us, you are mistaken. We will come after you. If you don't come after us, we will not come after you. If you respect yourself and you love your one Nigeria in your ignorance, that's entirely up to you. Allow us to do what we are doing. Once you intrude into our space, we'll make sure you will not go through.
Of the Operation Python dance, and when many feared you were dead and then you reappeared, you ordered a boycott of the election. Why did you do that?
Because Nigeria has a very poor education system, coupled with the fact that we black people from Africa, we don't learn. We read, we don't learn. We understand English language. We know A, B, C, D, Z. We know how to write fanciful grammar, but we don't understand the nuances of English language. We don't understand how to use words to convey meaning. I called for the boycott because I knew before time that your PVC was useless. I knew they would rig the election in favor of Jubril. Everyone knew that. Now, APC sits down somewhere in Abuja with INEC, one Fulani man to another. They decide who goes and who doesn't go. Now they've taken over the judiciary. They can now, they saw Dino Malaye as a big threat and a problem. They've just simply recalled him. One tribunal just ruled he shouldn't be here, and he's gone. That's what they do. And people fold their hands every day and watch hopelessly as impunity on top of impunity is happening. That was why the rise of Showore came. To say this nonsense has to stop. Your average Nigerian lacks the capacity to reason. These are the same people under Jonathan, they were talking about revolution. Tinubu came out on the street to march. The dead Buhari came out on the street to march. Now it is their turn, they're in power. When you come out to march, it's treasonable felon. When you protest, you're a terrorist. And they claim they are in a democracy. Boris Johnson, the newly elected Prime Minister of Great Britain, on many occasions have been confronted, assaulted, pelted with eggs. You are in the UK, you know this. Did anyone go to jail for that? That is part and parcel of democracy. When people are upset, they vent their anger. But in Nigeria, it is treason. Shoot them, kill them, incarcerate them. Because we are primitive and backwards. I keep saying this all the time. In fact, what's happening in South Africa, I've justified my stance over the years. People say I shouldn't insult black people. I said I'm black. But I cannot condone the stupidity of the black man. I can't condone it. What is happening is inexcusable. Inexcusable. You have no light. You have no roads. You have no housing. You have no schools. Somebody came out to campaign for this thing. And you're laughing at him, saying he committed treason. And you're telling me that God will turn around and love Nigeria. What is impossible?
Mazi, a lot of people were offended, when you chose to address the massacre that happened in your hometown. You acknowledged the killing of your dog before the brave men who took bullets for you.
There are people who will always twist everything that I said. I went to World Igbo Congress in 2015, and I said I need guns and I need bullets to defend our land, because I knew the Fulanis were coming. Today, have they not come? When I say something, sometimes there is a statement of the media, paid, of course, by some politicians, to twist what I said. I paid tribute to my men that fell. I didn't mention their names. I paid tribute to my men that I drew in Jack, my dog, to portray the heartlessness of those that they sent to come and kill me. Not that how can I put my dog before my men? I went to prison because of them. I could have died because of them. When they sent snipers to come and kill me in 2015, 30th of May in Aba, I risked my life to go to Aba to address our people, as I've always done and will always do. They won't remember that. All they remember is that I mentioned Jack Maida. These are the people that live by peddling gossip, rumors, and innuendos. That is why, as I keep saying all the time, Nigeria is the shithole.
On this, they said Nigerian politicians, especially of Igbo extraction, seems unwilling to attend events around the world, believing that the fear of IPOB is the beginning of wisdom. What informed, this sudden change of strategy?
It is called accountability, democratic accountability. Very soon, I'm sure they won't report this, very soon, any governor that have not paid salaries will not come abroad anymore. If you're owing salaries, you cannot come abroad anymore. To bank teacher salaries, to bank the salaries of pensioners, you cannot come abroad anymore. And from next month, it will start happening. If you are owing salaries in your state, I assure you, it doesn't matter who you are, you cannot come abroad anymore. So this is just the beginning.
Take you on this, but we would be going on break very quickly, and when we come back, we're going to continue this interview with the servant leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Of heaven, the very oldest language on the face of this very earth.
Because I can say that from what I have just listened from you, it is just not ordinary.
Very wonderful. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that
Welcome. Thank you for joining us once again on this very program. I appreciate everyone who has connected wherever you are connected from. If you are joining us from Biafran land, you are joining us from Nigeria, you are joining from any part of Africa, Asia, Europe, America, Australia, Canada, New Zealand. You are joining us from Iran, you are joining us from Iraq, you're joining us from Israel, you are joining us from Ukraine. Wherever you are joining us from, I appreciate you and I welcome you to this very platform. Please, as you join, like and share the program to other platforms. Share the program to family and friends. Share the program to your neighbors. Don't keep it to yourself. Whether you are watching on TikTok, or you're watching on Facebook, or you're watching me on YouTube where I'm hosting the program, or you're watching on X, wherever you come across this video and you are watching, please like and share. If the information resonates with you, like and share. Don't keep it to yourself. One of the charges we were given by our Prime Minister, Mazi Nnamdi, is to engage in radical evangelism. This is the time for radical evangelism. We have so many issues. We have so many responsibilities. We have so many informations to set straight. and make correct. So this is the time to share. Don't you ever come into the program and listen alone. Each time you join, share the program. Click like. Liking the program is one of the most important things you must do, because when you like, that will help the algorithm. It will help the algorithm to trigger the notification to others who are on the same line with us. Those that have questions can see the video and they will come and ask their questions. Those that have superior arguments can see the program and they come with their superior arguments. Those that want to learn can see and come to learn. Those that want to teach can equally see, then they will come. Because this platform is a platform for public opinion. It is not a platform under any group or any person. This platform is just a platform under Biafran struggle. This is a platform for humanity. Even if you are not a Biafran, but you are human, you care about humanity, you care about freedom, you are welcome in this platform. Feel free, no matter your race, no matter your group, your ethnicity, it doesn't hinder you from being part of this program. And I tell you, as you are coming, you are entitled to your opinion. I am not going to force you to bend into my own discussion or bend into what I said. You are entitled to your opinion, and you have the right to disagree with me. You have the right to disagree. Have your opinion, I have mine. It is left for the audience that are watching us, the Biafran people, who I know have common sense. They can apply their sense with the argument and then make up their mind on what their decision is or will be. So our purpose of coming here is to help people take a very strong stand that they can defend at all times. That is why I'm here. To give that opportunity for expanded argument for people to be able to defend whatever they believe in, whatever they are projecting. In this platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We don't come to this platform to preach hate. We do not come here to attack people or individuals. All we be here is to present Biafra to the world as the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria. And when we say Biafra is the only remedy, we are not denigrating other regions or other tribes or ethnicity. They have the right also to be free if they choose to. And if they choose to remain enslaved, it's also their right. So we are not forcing anybody against his or her will to do what he or she does not want to do. All we are saying is live and let's live. So I welcome everyone that have joined us. I appreciate you as you join, like and share to other platforms while we continue on the program as we always do. This is a very critical time, a very important time, a very, very interesting time. It is a time that all the hidden agendas are coming out. Every crooked way is made straight. Every question is answered. All it takes is for you to pay attention to information that are coming. When you pay attention, you will understand the path that we are going. When you pay attention, you can equally get answers to the questions you are asking under your cupboard, under your bed, in your Muslim groups. All those questions that people refuse to answer. At this point in time, they are coming in the public. And all you need to do is to come with your open mind and you will get your answers. Like I always tell people, when you join my platform, keep your sentiment aside. Keep your Muslim group aside. Whatever you have in mind as a sentiment, your anger, your grief, your pride, keep it aside. Let us focus on the unity of purpose. The unity of purpose, which is the purpose for which we gather in all the Muslim groups that we gather. The purpose is self-determination for the Biafran people. Freedom of Biafra. Self-determination, that is the purpose for which we gather in different groups. If not for that, I will not be here talking. Many of you will not see my face. Neither will I see you nor meet you. So, the only reason for which we meet ourselves on a daily basis, sometimes twice every day, is because of the unity of purpose. So we must always look at that each time we speak. So today we have come once again to do what we know how to do best and continue to preach the gospel. At this critical time, it is needful that we preach. We will continue to preach. And the topic we chose today says, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the supreme leader of IPOB, latest directives expose the biggest threat to Biafra freedom struggle today. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu latest directives exposes the biggest threat Biafra freedom struggle is facing today. You will not understand until you pay attention. Yesterday, something happened in my platform which I never planned for. As you all know, what I come here to do is to preach my message, and after preaching the gospel to Biafrans, focusing on reality. And I have said it several times. I have said it many times. For me, in this platform, my message is based on reality, not on wishful thinking. My message is based on reality, not on wishful thinking. I don't come here to tell you something to make you happy. Neither do I come here to tell you something to like me or to exalt me. No. I focus my message on reality of the day. Something that is so simple that when you look, you can see it by yourself. The reality is that somebody did not need to interpret to you. Even if you're not in the homeland, all you need to do is to put a call across and you will see and know the reality. That is where my message is based. I don't preach based on wishful thinking or hope or dreams. No. My message is based on reality. And whenever I answer questions or I speak based on reality on the ground. For every one of us as Biafran, it is our wish that we can sleep and wake up one day and we hear, yes, Biafra is now free. We have an independent state now. That is our wish. That is my wish. That is the wish of every one of us. That we can wake up one day and we'll see that our land is completely independent and free. That's our wish. But wishes are not reality. We need to put some work, put some actions to achieve that reality. So I don't preach wishes when I preach. I don't preach dreams when I preach. I preach reality. That is why when I speak based on what is happening today. And when you look at this title, I am going to be focusing mostly these days on the new dimension. Maybe people don't want to hear it, but that is true. The reborn. This was the language that caught fire yesterday. The reborn of IPOB under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The new era of IPOB under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The earlier you accept that, know that, and you know peace. IPOB has been reborn. IPOB under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been reborn. Just like yesterday when I was preaching, there was never a time I told anybody to fold your little mushroom groups, to bound your little mushroom groups. I never told anybody to leave your little mushroom groups and join any group. No. My message was clear. The reborn IPOB. And it is not a wishful thinking. It is something that we saw coming all the way from the highest authority, the supreme leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And I don't know why it was difficult for somebody to understand that. In a simple language, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, before the whole public, recovered IPOB from where it was. This was something that happened. The decay of IPOB happened before us. It happened before you and before me. And we knew where the problem was coming from. And even before now, our Prime Minister, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, nailed the subject. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was the first person to see this evil, and he called it for what it is. He tried everything humanly possible to redeem the IPOB, but for the fact that he is not the supreme leader of IPOB, there are limits to what he can do. There are limits to what he. If it was possible for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to redeem IPOB himself, he would have done it, but there are limits to the length he could go. He did a lot of work, saved members, people who are loyal to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I remember one time when Aloy Ejimako was interviewed on one of the national TV, and they asked him about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu group, people following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu followers and Mazi Nnamdi followers. And he told them in that channel that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu followers and Mazi Nnamdi followers are one. They are not two. It is the same people. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu followers and Mazi Nnamdi followers are one. They are not different. But when you decide to detach yourself from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when you detach yourself from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, automatically you have detached yourself from Mazi Nnamdi. When you detach yourself from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you have automatically detached yourself from Mazi Nnamdi. And my joy is that all the time Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was with us, he has never one day detached himself from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has always addressed him as my leader. He addressed him as my leader. And he took this position of a disciple. He took the position of a disciple. Even when he was interviewed by an international journalist that was sent by Arai that they refused to report, he also told them, yes, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is my leader. He never denied him, not at any point in time. And not just a verbal denial. In actions, so many orders came from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which he obeyed. So many instructions came from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which he followed. And within that time, we saw constant information coming from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on what to do. From the moment Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, we saw it was open. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu first of all said that he is going to be sending Mazi Nnamdi Kanu topics for discussion every week. That was one of the things that made the Department of Sabotua then. This DOS, expel DOS, get mad. And this information was sent to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu through Aloy Ejimako. It's not Aloy Ejimako, Ifeanyi Ejiofor. Ifeanyi Ejiofor brought the message. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said he will be sending Mazi Nnamdi Kanu topics of discussion. And they got jealous. What did they do? Even after sending the message, they blocked it. When they blocked it, what will be? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu continued. Because even before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was taken away, their spirits have already matched together. Their spirits have already started working together. Most of the time when he preaches exactly what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had in mind to say. There was one interview when they were together in one of the program, and after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spoke, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that was exactly what they had in mind on coming to the program. So there was no need speaking. That is how close their spirit walked. Very, very close. And today, wherever Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is, and he hears the reborn of IPOB, the redemption of IPOB, he will be very, very happy to see that thing he talked about, that unity he wished for, is coming. But I don't know why someone is angry. I don't know why some certain group of people will get angry. You are so scared When you hear IPOB reborn, you are so scared. Knowing fully well that the reborn of IPOB is going to create a new bond, a new unity is coming. A new unity. And when the interpretation is very simple. Before ever Mazi Nnamdi Kanu redeemed them, he first of all made a step of calling every group together. He has never removed any group. Neither did he tell you, okay, shut down your group. Don't talk. Don't speak about Biafra. Mazi Nnamdi never did so. He never shut down and said, shut down your group. Instead, he was opening his hand. You saw me so many times acknowledge Avid. He acknowledged Avid. You see him acknowledge the rising sun. And at the end, he said, all the agitating group, which he cannot mention. That was when he established the 100 men. And every one of us, we are part of the 100 men. Except you take yourself away from it. You are at the liberty to do so. You are the freedom. You have the freedom to make your choice what you want. That was where he started. And then we stepped into the next level, the redemption of IPOB. And today people are scared because IPOB have been redeemed. You see, as we go further, I want you to mark today a time will come when so many things are going to be. More people are still going to attack Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. More people are still going to attack, some of them ignorantly though, some of them ignorantly. Some of them because of their envy, jealousy, and greed, or because of ego. They will not like to abide by a simple instruction. Everything they see around them looks like a threat. Everything around them looks. When you talk about unity, they feel that when we unite together and become one, they will not have the popularity and position they have. And for that, they are so scared. They prefer to be in that their mushroom situation. They prefer to be in that their small little group. And when you talk about the reborn of IPOB, they get scared. IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, remain the grandfather of the struggle. And any place in the world where recognition of Biafra is going to be made, any place in the world where the name of Biafra will finally take a recognition. Genuinely. I don't mean, you see, that is what, when I talk about, recognition is not something that is done in secret. That is one thing I want you to do again. When we talk about recognition, it is not something that is going to be done in secret. It is something that is done in the public, broadcasted, and the whole world will see it. No country will come to the backyard to recognize you. It is something that is done, announced in the public and published. The one that happened recently, Somaliland, the recognition of Somaliland, you saw the Israel Prime Minister on phone was congratulating the Somaliland people. He was speaking on phone, televised. You saw him addressing the Prime Minister of Somaliland. During the Biafran Civil War, up to today, I still have the videos of the recognition. Countries that recognize Biafra, they sent letters. They made public publication on that. It is not something that is done in secret. So don't think that somebody will come and tell you, oh, you have been recognized. You are recognized. That is why I tell you people that here I deal with reality, not sentiment or wishful thinking. For which I wish and dream that I wake up tomorrow and hear, oh, Biafra have been recognized by a country. That is a wishful thinking. I wish that would happen. I wish that I can wake up and hear that those that recognized us during the Civil War have reactivated that recognition again. It is a wish. But the reality remains that it has not happened yet. And it's not going to come easy. It will come with hard work. And there are so many things we need to do to make that come. One of the most important things we need to do to make that come is to be in charge of our life. I didn't just say it. Mazi Simon Ebanjoko, who is the one that laid the foundation of the declaration, said it with his own mouth. one of the most important things to do is that you must be in charge of some fractions of your land. Even if it is 20% of your land, you must be totally in charge. It is not by reading Google. It is not by reading what is written in Google. And let's talk about reality of wanting to be seen. And what currently, recently, in the case of Somaliland, you saw them. They were not outside. They were at home. They conducted, in fact, they are in charge of their territory already. They have done everything that needs to be done. They were only waiting for that recognition to come. They have already taken charge. That even any country that recognizes them and their president decides to fly into the country, he can fly in and land in there without any disruption. So when I talk about reality, I don't want you to confuse yourself. My messages here is not based on attack or sentiment. It's based on reality. And when I talk about reality, the reality on the ground. Hopes, faith, beliefs, and wishes are different from reality. They are very different from the reality. Sometimes hopes keeps you going, but it never comes to materialize. Sometimes dreams never come true. Sometimes wishes never come true. But I'm not saying that we will not have our hope will continue to be alive until whenever. But at the same time, we never have to forget about the reality. So, my fellow Biafrans, at this critical point in time where we are, every one of us should be rejoicing and keen along with the decision of our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and recognizing his authority whenever he speaks. More especially when it comes to the structure of the struggle. As I said yesterday, whenever the roll call is made and it is time for us to go, our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, must be on the table. And the organization which he stands with must be there. The decision on who goes in to negotiate for us will come from him. And already, he's putting those things in place. That does not stop you to do whatever you are doing on your own to keep things going. Everything that anyone, any group is doing is important. If you are engaging diplomatically in your own group, through one means or the other, keep on engaging diplomatically. It is an effort. Those who are defending in our land on defense, keep on the part of defense. It is their job to do. Everybody has a role to play. If you are on media, use your media wisely to speak for the freedom of Biafra. Unlike what the Department of Saboteurs are doing today, using their media against the same man who created them. The platform that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu created, a sacred platform where we all go to worship. Today, they have turned it to something else. They have turned it to a propaganda channel where they go to spill lies, to blackmail, to attack, and speak evil against the innocent. You should not engage in that. You should not. Whichever angle you are operating, operate wisely. And this is not about personality. It is about every one of us. It is about our future. Look at our beloved sister in Israel. She is only married to a Biafran. And her husband is late. And she made that promise that she's going to fight. And today, you can see the effort she's putting single-handedly without anything. Even when this Department of Saboteurs that was dismissed came to claim claim glory on what she was doing in Israel, she distanced herself and said the record straight. She says she's doing it for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB. And as a promise, she met to her husband. And today, that woman has done a great job in Israel. As we speak, the case of Biafra is in the parliament for discussion. It is not a wishful thinking. It is facts. We saw her there. We saw when the signatures were collected from lawmakers, and the signatures came complete. We saw everything. It is not picture. Reality. This is how to work if you want to. If you want to work. That woman is not holding any position in IPOB. That woman and the young man that is going with it, they are not holding any position in IPOB. But they have done a job that even those that hold a position can never be. They have done what people who are having position could not be able to do. The same vein is what we are saying today in every other area. I have said it, in any mushroom group where you are, do what you know you can do. Do what you know you can do. And leave the rest. The Biafran struggle has leadership. The Biafran restoration movement has leadership. And the leader is the supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is the only name you have in the White House that kicks in the issue of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. During the congressional hearing, it was his name that came up. And that's his name that came up, drive in the case of Biafra. And you think you can remove him from the picture and remain the same. Sorry. Sorry. It is only mischievous people. Only mischievous people will continue to go to that direct narrative. That someone will come, get angry, and say, why would Mazi Nnamdi Kanu rebrand IPOB or renew IPOB or recover IPOB? Why would Mazi Nnamdi Kanu recover IPOB? And one was somebody said yesterday that the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have not said that he reborn IPOB. That why am I saying it? That is the dumbest thing any human being can say. The dumbest argument I have ever seen before. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu recovered IPOB. You, as a human being with common sense, do not know that that is recovery. Placed it the way it should be. And gave instructions. And called for unity, for unification, every one of us, to come under that umbrella. But you are so scared. You are so scared that when you come under that umbrella, you will no longer become relevant. You will no longer be in charge. Why is it about you? Why is it about you? It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. We are talking about collective efforts, our collective interests. We are talking about freedom. And that is why it is interesting and very important to keep memory alive. Because some of us forget very soon. We forget so soon. So many of us are very forgetful. And I don't blame some who are just new in the struggle, who have not been paying. There are people who have been hearing, but they are not paying attention. Some just begin to pay attention recently. And that is why most time I play these videos to take your memories back, where we are coming from, where we have been, and where we are supposed to be. Memory is not merely about remembering events. Memory is about preserving lessons. Memory is about honoring sacrifice. Memory is about understanding where we have come from and where we intend to go. Many individuals have devoted years of their life to advocating for their belief regarding Biafra. Many people have put their life on the line. Many people have died in the cause. Many people have endured hardship. Some have faced legal challenges simply because of their faith and belief on Biafra. Some have sacrificed opportunities. Some have devoted their time and resources to promoting awareness for Biafra. Don't you ever forget this. Whether one agrees or disagrees with the movement's objectives, it is important to acknowledge that many people have invested significant energy in what they believe to be a just cause. Therefore, memory should inspire reflection rather than division. Memory should inspire reflection rather than division. But I don't know why memory, in this case, for some people, reflect division for them. Instead of inspire reflection, it becomes division for their mind. When you bring back memories, when you talk about things, when you re-establish them, when you recover them, they become so scared. It is only because they are not having a pure mind. Their heart is not clean because of their selfish interests or personal interests. The latest directive attributed to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as many viewers know, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains one of the most recognized figures associated with indigenous people of Biafra, commonly known as IPOB. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu worldwide is associated with IPOB. IPOB is indestructible, just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. And for some of you that come to say, oh, there is nothing like IPOB as an organization. You know, sometimes it is very easy for us to quote people or copy a quote and run with it. That is what some people do. To satisfy their selfish interest, they just copy a quote and run with it. Oh, there is nothing like IPOB. Mazi Nnamdi said there's nothing like IPOB. You're an idiot. You are nothing but an idiot. Our Prime Minister, Mazi Nnamdi, when he made that comment for purpose. There was a reason. There was a caveat, and there was a situation at that time that made him to speak that word. And before he got arrested, he took time. He tried as much as possible. We started from the new IPOB. There was the time he called us the real IPOB, and then I said the new IPOB. But it was almost impossible for him to recover it completely because of the nature of an establishment. It is only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the supreme leader, based on the code of conduct, that can change things and make things happen. That was why it was almost impossible for Mazi Nnamdi to recover IPOB then. The only assurance he gave us was that once Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has his freedom, that these people, every one of them will be dismissed from IPOB. Mazi Nnamdi said it. They will be dismissed. When they continue their evil, trying to use that against him to distract us with him, he distanced himself from them and said, from today, don't refer to us as IPOB. Let the people who are managing the organization continue. We have gone past that. He focused on the government in Israel. First, it was the autopilot, which they themselves were the one calling us autopilot. They gave us the nickname, and we took the nickname and we ran with it. And we gone to government in exile, which was the structure of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was the first person that created it, but it was dormant. And Mazi Nnamdi woke it up and make it begin to work. Throughout the years, the statement of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Directive have often generated extensive discussion among supporters and observers alike. Challenging the authority of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in IPOB is a death wish. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not just on his own assignment, it's on a spiritual assignment to deliver the nation where Chukwu Okike will serve in truth and in spirit. And if you fight it, you're fighting against Chukwu Okike and your end will be so disastrous. It doesn't matter whether you are doing it, it doesn't matter whether you are doing it mistakenly or whatever. You must face the consequence. That is why you must be very careful before you open your mouth, or before they send you to come to my platform to speak. You must be very careful. Not just my platform, wherever they send you to go and pass those nonsensical messages, be very careful. When Mazi Simon Ekpa said that IPOB of Chike Doziem is gone, there was a caveat. He had a reason for saying it. And today, that IPOB is gone completely, and the reborn of IPOB by the supreme leader himself happened. And when I say it, some people get worried because I have touched the truth. They can't hold it. They feel that, oh, something superior is going to be greater than them is coming. Something that is coming to crush them is coming. I didn't say, I never mentioned any other organization. I didn't say, oh, live here and go here. I never say, abandon this. I just made a statement, a reborn. Just like when the birth of Christ was announced. The birth of Christ was announced, and Herod got angry. Herod got angry because of the start of the Messiah. Many innocent people lost their life. Only a news and information that a Messiah is born. You are already angry. The Messiah have not come to say, oh, you will cease to live. The Messiah have not said, okay, I am now in charge. You cease to exist. But already you are jittery. You are jittery. The indigenous people of Biafra is indestructible. And when we talk about continuity, Mazi Simon Ekpa did not destroy IPOB. Mazi Simon Ekpa distanced himself from the IPOB of Chika, Edoziem, and China Samoro that was polluted and completely taken over by the Nigerian government, which all of us saw. And for you to understand, look at the ESN. ESN was recovered from these criminals by Mazi Simon Ekpa. And in order to create that demarcation and make things clear, most importantly, to take Mazi Nnamdi Kanu away from the picture, because the target was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to blackmail him. They wanted to use every single activity to blackmail him, but Mazi Simon Ekpa took the bullet. Every single blackmail they made against Mazi Simon Ekpa was targeted at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Some of you don't know. When they were conducting all their first flag operation, they say, oh, Mazi Simon Ekpa did this, he killed person, he did this in a citadel. All these things, the target was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And that was one of the reasons Mazi Simon Ekpa distanced himself from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. At a point in time, he made it very clear that nobody should hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu responsible for whatever he does. That he takes responsibility for whatever he does or whatever the Liberation Army does. Nobody should attach it to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He created these distinctions to make sure that our supreme leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is on a safe ground. But today, people hate him for that. They blackmailed him, said all manner of nonsense. But I thank God today, even many of them are confessing and looking back, and when they see what they did in the past, they find out that actually the only man who was standing with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu then was Mazi Simon Ekpa. And today that the game have changed, Mazi Simon Ekpa is no longer here. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot be silent and watch things go wrong. He took it upon himself through the grace of Chukwu Okike to recover and redeem and give us a face of where to focus, at least for us to have a direction. For us to have a direction. The new HOD have already made a statement and opened his arm for everybody to come together in one mind, in the unity of purpose. Just like Mazi Simon always done. He always, even before the inauguration, before the declaration, he opened the floor. Even for the politician, he said, everybody, you are free to come in. You are free. Even he offered to pay the ticket of the politicians who want to attend. That's how open Mazi Simon was. So when we talk about the unification of Biafra and the issue, it is not something that is negotiable. That is why IPOB under the Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is something that every one of us is part of. And you can't take me away from that. You can't take me away from that. If you decide to extract yourself from that, good for you. Good for you. It's left for the Biafran people to judge and see who you are and what you're actually doing. If you decide, just as some of them are proclaiming, oh, you are not part of IPOB, IPOB is dead and buried. Good for you. And why I made that statement I made that I continue to make and we continue to make it to talk about the reborn is for those who be confused. When you see that statement that Mazi made in the past about IPOB organization, that we're not part of it. But we are part of IPOB as indigenous people. There was a caveat, there was a reason he made that broadcast. And that is why I keep on attaching the word reborn, renewal, the new era under the Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, where he has appointed Mazi Chris, the new HOD. And we have sung his speech. I played his video here and his speech. The message everywhere. And all the criminals who were in the former, we are dismissed. I think I need to read their names out so that we can know when we talk about it, how deep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went to recover the IPOB. And it's something that we need to be happy about. It's something that we need to be joyful about because the confusion was so much that they want to begin to ask, where are they going? They were trying, they have already turned IPOB into a political pressure group. Chike Doziem turned IPOB to a political pressure group, working under Suribo. Seibo, governor of Anambra State, was working directly with Seibo, governor of Anambra State. And you see every one of them in line that are DSP. These are the group that fought Mazi Nnamdi. Every single one of them, they are still on that line of the seed and evil. Some of them pretend they are in agitation. Some of them pretend that, but at this point in time, so many of them cannot pretend again. That is why this is the time to open your ears wide, open your eyes very well. Those things you want me to say, those language you will see, you will find it out by yourself. I don't need to tell you where to belong, who is who. It is becoming more clearer by day. Those who are denigrating Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, disobeying the order of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, now you know them. So when you know them, it is your own right to choose where you belong. Those who have said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no right to recover IPOB. When you are angry about recovery, you are just doing the same thing that the Department of State will do and are doing. When you say that IPOB is dead, you are not different from the IPOB that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have signed. You are not different from them. It is the same thing they did is what they are doing. Because even them themselves, they say that IPOB have been sacked. Because when you say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is sacked, you are equally telling them that IPOB have been sacked. There is no IPOB without Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There is no IPOB without Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And that was why Mazi Nnamdi was very careful when he was talking about distancing ourselves from that IPOB organization. There was a caveat when he was speaking about it. There was a caveat. Go and listen to it over and over. Because some of us, we just sit back and we admire his elegance, we are how he is built, he is handsome, and the word that comes from his mouth, you cannot digest it properly. Throughout years, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu statement directives have often generated extensive discussion among supporters and observers, just like today. Many of us have emphasized that discipline, unity, strategic thinking, adherence to organizational structures are recurring terms in message attributed to him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu always emphasized on these issues: discipline, unity, strategic thinking, adherence to organizational structure, the structure of this very restoration of Biafra. It doesn't matter under which umbrella you are operating, there is one structure that we are working with. That is one thing some of you don't understand. It doesn't matter under which umbrella you are operating, there is one structure. The restoration of Biafra. That structure is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Simon Ekpa worked on that structure, based on that structure, expanded it, and went get to an extent, up to the extent of that declaration, and he was ready to do anything possible to defend the declaration, but unfortunately, they took him out, so there was nobody to defend the declaration. It is a sad story that I don't like to go back to. But I know in due time, our efforts will never be in vain. I'm not going to say that all I have done, all the effort that Biafrans put together to go to that land, travel, and make others, it's not in vain. It's not in vain. The record is still there. The record is still there. We can still use that to make case. Even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can use that to make case. So if they decide to disagree, then conduct your referendum. Most importantly, if you refuse to admit that Biafrans are willing to go and ready, why not give them a referendum? The central question for any movement in any mayor is not merely what a leader says. The more important question is how followers interpret and implement those messages. The more important question is how followers interpret and implement the messages of the leader. How you interpret and implement the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the message of Mazi Simon Ekpa. The implementation and interpretation is very, very important for everyone of us. If you interpret it wrongly, you are going to pay the price. But if you understand it rightly, interpret it rightly, implement it the way it should be, you have no cause to regret. History teaches us that misunderstanding, miscommunication, and conflicting interpretation can create confusion within any organization. That is why I do not want anybody to conflict the rebirth of IPOB. It is all about unification. The message is unity. If you don't understand that it is unity, from the first day, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started from 100 men, and in 100 men, everybody is included. David, the rising sun, and he said, and all other groups were represented, except for those who choose at will to distance themselves. It is your business. Nobody's going to force you. The door was made open for everybody to come in. And then, people be the grandfather of the struggle was brought forward, re-established, regained back. If you have a problem with that, it is up to you. If you are so scared of the fact that IPOB has resurrected to be what they are supposed to be, the grandfather of the struggle, if you are so scared and worried about, deal with it. It is your problem. It is your problem. Deal with it. You don't have to You don't have to blame anybody for that or attack anybody or insult anybody for that. No. But I know that the only people who are worried about that are those who are interested on their own personal gain. Some of them are so scared that when the unity occurs, there will be no place to be found. They are going to lose their relevance. They will lose their positions. They will no longer become the focus point. And that is why they don't want to speak or hear about the rebirth of IPOB. But sorry to disappoint you. IPOB have been reborn. And I appreciate our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for the reborn of IPOB. And everything that will make them go further and do whatever they have to do, I will support 100%. Whatever the new authorities put forward, as long as it resonates with the struggle and what the intention is based on unity of purpose, I will promote it. I don't need somebody to come and tell me to do it. Once I see a flyer or a program conducted, listen to it, and it resonates with the mission that I know that my supreme leader had in mind, that my prime minister had in mind, I will promote it. I have said it several times. I don't have a problem with you being in any mushroom group you want to be. Go ahead and be there. Just like some people who are talking about IPOB being an organization and all whatnot. Most times they push me to go to that argument, but I don't want to go to that direction because every single one of them who are calling IPOB an organization are also registered as an organization. Every single one of them. They don't know that the thing they are protecting and claiming whatever they don't know is registered as an organization. And so many of them have not seen the registration. Even people who are claiming to defend have not seen the registration. Yesterday, I intentionally refused to talk about the registration because I have the registration with me. I can display it on the screen so that you can read for yourself. So when you read, you will know what you are defending and what you are talking about. But unfortunately, that is not why we're here. I'm not here for any form of. So all I'm saying is that we must have to focus on the order of the Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Whatever he says goes. Whatever decision he makes, we will support. He has never deviated. He has never fallen short. He has always been up in all his decisions. You have the right to disagree sometimes, just like as I'm here in my platform talking. If you disagree, you have the right to disagree with me. But when you disagree, come up with a superior argument. Then we will talk about it. Don't run away. I'm not going to take you out. I'm not going to take you out. I don't take people out in my platform we are speaking. Some of them, they run away from themselves. And when you are coming, make sure you have enough time so that you can be able to make your point and let the Biafrans get your point right. And let myself learn from you and have the superior argument that's coming from you. History teaches us that misunderstanding communication, miscommunication, conflict interpretation can create confusion within any organization. Therefore, clarity matters. Clarity matters. If there is something that we've talked about and you're not so clear about, don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Sometimes when you are in the comment section, I might not be able to put my eyes there because most of the time, the comment section might be a distraction to me, so I don't pay much attention on the comment section. Just don't worry, be bold. Click the link and then come and ask questions. I won't force you to on your camera, but your presence will equally make me remember and also get your questions right then I will respond. If there are the ones that need evidence, I'm going to play evidence and show you. If that's the only thing that will help you to understand. So wherever you are and you are joining us on this program, clarity matters. Accuracy matters. Verification matters. Responsible communication matters. The need for discipline. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu speaks so much about this discipline. We must be disciplined. We must be disciplined. Almost in major of most of his brokers, we must be disciplined. Today, you now see why he's talking about discipline. Indiscipline have taken over the struggle from right, left, and center. From inside and from outside, indiscipline. That is the order of the day today. Let us now discuss discipline. No organization can function effectively without discipline. We must be disciplined. No movement can achieve long-term goals without discipline. No institution can survive internal disorder. Definitely. Discipline means respecting established procedures. That is discipline. Respecting established procedure. Just like somebody was talking about continuity yesterday, and I was just laughing because I don't know what you are continuing in. When you talk about continuity, you have to also, it is not just speaking that English language continuity and you throw it in and you expect me to buy into it. No. When you talk about continuity, you have to make people understand. Continuing in what and what and what. Like the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa, we know he continued from what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu left behind. If you want me to give you an example of the continuity in the case of Mazi Simon, I can tell you about the ESN, which he transformed and made it a liberation army. The same people, without any dissolution, without any rancor. Instead, he took time to embrace them, even beg them, and brought them and continued from where they stopped. The same thing in government in exile. He continued. He didn't just sack everybody and take over. No. The first step he made was to call on the government in exile that was established by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and told them to start the work. He told them to start work. Do what you have to do. That was the first step he took. He brought them in and told them, go ahead and give us what we want. And it is they themselves that decided to distance themselves because they wanted to wait for P2B. They have been politicized. And when he saw that they have been politicized, he has no choice but to go ahead and establish, based on the same foundation, the Biafran government in exile. So that is what is called continuity. That is what is called continuity. Many of the activities he did was continuity. Removing all the checkpoints in Biafra land, it was continuity. Making sure that we take care of our people and defend our continuity. Making sure that the life of Biafrans are saved and Biafrans are defended. Continuity. Making sure that the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been taken care of. Continuity. Making sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself is taken care of properly. At the point in that he announced it publicly that we will take care of the feeding of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his medical expenses and his case. He made an announcement on that. It is continuity. So when you tell me about continuity, please define the continuity you are talking about. And give me examples. Give me examples. No institution survives internal disorder indefinitely. Discipline means respecting established procedure. You must respect the established procedure that has come all the way from the supreme leader downwards. You must respect it. Discipline means respecting established procedure. Discipline means exercising self-control. Some of you don't have that self-control. You can't even listen properly to digest information before you jump in. Some of you see my topic even after you have seen the topic, because you have been sent to distract or to push a certain agenda. You think you can bully your way into the program and say one or two things and then distract. Gone are the days. Gone are those days. I can no longer accept that. If you have a question, I will allow you to ask me questions. If you have a superior argument, I will attend to it. But a distraction, that is one thing I would not entertain anymore. Discipline means avoiding actions that undermine collective objectives. When you see people today fighting against the reborn of IPOB, that is undermining the order of the supreme leader of IPOB, undermining our collective objectives. That is what it is. When you see people today sacking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the supreme leader, going against the code of conduct, is an action that undermines collective objectives. So if you are disciplined, you need to avoid actions that undermine collective objectives. Whenever you speak against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you undermine his instruction and refuse to obey his words, or you intentionally misinterpret, because that is one common thing they do. They push the narrative, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu reformed IPOB. It is not a parable. It is not a drama. He did it in the open. It was announced publicly. And the new order he put in place, the new HOD, made an announcement of acceptance. And since then, work have commenced. And you have seen all the forces in Biafra land have come out to endorse the statement of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. All the forces that you and I know, the people that are ready to defend our land, they are very much intact. You have seen them, different commanders. They come to pledge allegiance to the order given by the supreme leader. That is discipline. That is discipline. Don't try to interpret it differently. Don't try to mislead people by misinterpreting what has just happened. Everyone that is genuine is aligning themselves to that very instruction. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not say dissolve your mushroom group. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not say abandon your mushroom group. So why are you attacking the situation? Because you are afraid. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? What are you scared of? What are you scared of? If you are genuine, what are you scared of? You are supposed to be happy. For your supreme leader to be making such a great impact, even from detention, you are supposed to be happy. One of the greatest challenges facing our nation worldwide is not external opposition. Often, the greatest challenge comes from internal disorder. Internal disorder. Today, in this Biafran cause, the most greatest challenge we face is within us, among us, not even from outside. The Nigerian government is not doing anything about us this time. They have thrown the battle on our own area. It is we against us. Look at the kind of energy the DOS is putting in to destroy the image of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You see the kind of energy they are putting in. You see the kind of energy the DOS is putting in. Something they have not done for 5 good years, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu station. They couldn't put in that kind of effort. But today, look at How many media warriors they have recruited newly? What are they doing? Talking rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Nonsense. That is what they're doing. Talking absolute arrant nonsense. Created thousands of, what did they say? That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is no longer the supreme leader of IPOB. That who is the leader? How can a sensible person say that? The face of the struggle that the whole world have known. There cannot be any IPOB without Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It doesn't exist. Just like the propaganda video they use. I posted that propaganda video yesterday, where the Emeka confirmed that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu created his own IPOB. So the IPOB you are trying to recover, is it the Emeka IPOB you are talking about? Mazi Nnamdi? We are in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's IPOB. That is where we have been. And that is what is in charge of the whole planet today. History repeatedly demonstrates that movements are frequently weakened, not by their opponents, but by internal conflict, misunderstanding, personal rivalries, and lack of coordination. Therefore, discipline is not weakness. When we talk about discipline, it is not weakness. Discipline is strength. Discipline is maturity. Discipline is responsibility. Discipline is responsibility. When you are disciplined, it doesn't mean you are weak. It only shows that you are mature, that you are responsible. And we must also be disciplined in communication. That is the most important one. Before you jump into people's platform or before you on your own camera to say anything, think twice. Think again and again. Don't be moved with emotion. When you see true survival on the platform speaking, you get so emotional. Your blood will rise and you click and you come in and you begin to blab and blab and blab. Even when you cannot defend what you're saying. Even when you can't defend what you're saying. You can't defend what you're saying. We must be disciplined in our communication. Communication is powerful. Words can build. Words can destroy. Words can unite. Words can equally divide. You must be very careful what you say. In the digital age, information travels faster than ever before. A single statement can reach millions of people within minutes. Because of this reality, every individual who speaks publicly carries a responsibility. You don't just speak because others are speaking. You don't just speak because you have access to internet. You must be responsible. Every individual who speaks publicly carries a responsibility. Responsible communication requires verification before publication. You must verify. Don't just jump into a platform and begin to talk. You must verify. Verification. I have tried as much as possible to hold myself within my limitations, somewhere, my own zone. I don't enter someone's zone. Just as I don't mention people's name, I don't talk, but I focus on the message and I give my message and go. But time and time again, even people who don't have the information come out to push you to begin to go to extra miles. Verification before publication. Facts before conclusion. Evidence before accusation. Understanding before judgment. You must understand people before you judge them. When communication becomes careless, confusion spreads. Some of us, we carelessly come to the platform. You write anything you like on the comment section. You just come, you clap. After all, who is seeing your face? After all, who knows you? You just come, you open your mouth and talk at you. When communication becomes careless, confusion spreads. Just like people are trying to create confusion, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have recovered IPOB. What is confusing in it? The rebirth of IPOB. What is confusing? Is there anything confusing in it? Is there anything that is confusing in that? That IPOB was hijacked by the governors, destroyed and decimated and defied. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is the supreme leader and the creator of that IPOB that we know, recovered it, gave it a rebirth, and brought it home. What is confusing about that? What is confusing about that? Why are you making it look like a parable that somebody needs to interpret to you? Why are you making it look like a mystery that somebody has to explain? That you need a pastor, a native doctor, or an imam to explain to you? When confusion spread, trust weaken. When trust weaken, organizations suffer. We should learn to always stand by the truth. Stand for the truth and by the truth, no matter the circumstances. Very important. Truth must always remain central. Truth should not be sacrificed for popularity. Unfortunately, this is what many people are doing today. People have sacrificed the truth because they want to be popular, because you want viewers in your channel, because you want people to pay attention to you, because you know you want viewership. You sacrifice truth. You want to be popular. You want to have many viewers. I don't blame those of them who are content creators. That is what content creator is all about. Viewership. Content creating is about viewership. It's about how many people that views for you to be able to gain what you want. So I don't blame the content creators on whatever they do. But if you're a Biafran and you're creating content, you should be careful. Because as you're creating content to look for popularity, you are damaging your own generation. So how does that pay you? It doesn't pay you well, no matter the amount you get. At the end of the day, the result is going to be bad. Truth should not be sacrificed for popularity. If I want to have viewers, I know what to do. If I want to attract people to come from right, left, and center, I know the nonsense to say. I know the line of language, the thing they want me to talk, and the language that they need. But I'm not a content creator. If I want to create content, maybe I create another channel. This channel is not a channel for content creating. It is a channel for Biafra activism. A channel for Biafra activism. For humanity, for freedom, for truth. Truth should not be sacrificed for popularity. Truth should not be sacrificed for attention. Just because you are seeking for attention, you ignore the reality. You want to join the popular saying. You want to join the majority language. No. You must not. Truth should not be sacrificed for personal interest. Truth is often uncomfortable. More especially for those of them that have dubious mind. Those whom their mind is filled with envy, with anger, with greed. When you speak the truth, it makes them very uncomfortable. They begin to shake with anger. You begin to wonder if you stole something from them. But you didn't. You only told the simple truth. Truth is often uncomfortable. Truth sometimes challenges assumptions. Truth sometimes challenges assumptions. Truth sometimes requires corrections. That's what it requires. Truth sometimes requires correction. Yet, truth remains essential because credibility depends upon it. Credibility depends upon truth. Every movement, every organization, every government, every institution, and community depends upon credibility. That is why you don't play with truth. And credibility depends upon truth. Everything we are doing today for actualization of Biafra and for recognition, you require credibility for someone to recognize you. That is why we must always focus on truth. Stop misinterpreting information. Stop misrepresenting people. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu speak a word, it is not a parable, it's a direct speech. Interpret it the way it is. When Mazi make a statement, look into that statement and see the context under which he made that statement. Don't just pick information out of context and begin to run with it or misinterpret to satisfy your selfish interest. Credibility depends upon truth. And it's only truth that will make a recognition to come as fast as it should. If truth is abandoned, trust eventually disappears. In this agitation, we have seen many people. The reason we are having so many groups and so many factions, the reason so many people are not even ready to talk about Biafra anymore. Some have stepped aside and they are waiting for our Supreme Leader to come out or our Prime Minister to come out. Many have stepped aside because truth was abandoned. And the trust they have eventually disappears completely. And they took a back seat and they are waiting until the people they trust can come back and then they do what they have to do. If trust disappears, unity becomes difficult. Unity becomes difficult when trust disappears. If unity becomes difficult, progress becomes difficult too. Therefore, truth is not optional. Remember, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu always say it, that IPOB is built on truth. It is not optional. You don't even need to lie against your enemy. You don't even need to, if that you don't agree with somebody, you don't need to lie against him. Just say the truth and let it go. There's no need to push those lies, propaganda like the DOS are doing today. Just say the truth. And let you cook on the side. Truth is foundational. And that is why truth is the foundation of the IPOB under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Immediately the DOS under Chikedozium removed the truth. The foundation was destroyed. And I thank you today, the foundation has been recovered and restored. And the reborn of IPOB is something that every one of us should embrace with an open heart and mind. Give the new leadership a support that we can. Listen to instructions coming from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Obedience is better than sacrifice. I love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not enough. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is my leader. You use his picture, you use his prayer, you use his message. At the same time, you disobey the critical information that he has passed, instructions, you overlook them. Instead, you join propaganda. You join the propagandists, forgetting that the propaganda is dangerous. Throughout history, propaganda have existed in many forms. Propaganda can originate from government. It can originate from organizations. It can originate from media outlets. It can originate from individuals. The danger of propaganda is that it often replaces facts with narratives. And this is what we see every day. Propaganda. Just like the instruction, a direct instruction from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu given. Some are beginning to twist it. Like somebody say, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu just put back the organization that was under him. His personal, that what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is doing is personal. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not in any personal mission. Every single thing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is doing is for the Biafran people. He has no personal mission. IPOB is not his. It's not a personal mission. He has said it by himself that IPOB does not belong to him or his family. It belongs to us, we the Biafrans. And somebody came to my platform yesterday and told me that the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu recalling IPOB is like recalling his personal property, something that somebody owns and brought. He can fire and put people inside. He can put people and remove people. That it is his personal thing. Misinterpreting the original information. And this is a narrative that they are going to create. They have already created this narrative. And before you know it, people will begin to go with that narrative. They will begin to go with the narrative that that IPOB is a personal thing of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. IPOB is not, it doesn't, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he himself said it. I have played the video here. That IPOB does not belong to him. IPOB does not belong to his family. That IPOB is from the Biafran people. And whenever he deviates, that the Biafran people have the right to even fire him. But we know he has not deviated. But today, already you see a narrative that somebody came to my platform yesterday to put that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is protecting his personal business. It is like his own personal establishment. He's just trying to recover it. That it is not a reborn for the Biafran people. Oh my God. These are the people that claim to be under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is somebody who will still use the picture of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the image of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to propagate something and confuse those he will confuse. Why do you have to push such wicked narrative? And I don't think you are doing that out of ignorance, because you are not a child. Even if somebody told you, gave you that narrative, you should challenge it. That is why we talk about critical thinking. That's why I said that we should not be sheepish followers. We should not be part of sheepish followership. Detach yourself from it. Always have critical thinking. Even when somebody tells you what to say, you have that right to challenge it. Give your own point of view. Debate it. At the end of the day, a solution. The person might begin to reason. Because so many people today are saying so many things out of their own personal gain, greed, envy, jealousy, fear of the unknown. The danger of propaganda is that it often replaces fact with narratives. And you see propaganda already coming. Whatever Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is saying, they push propaganda. There was one I saw in one of the Nigerian media yesterday. Propaganda. And more especially when you see these people that have interest, personal interest, either in politics or in their organization or in whatever, they have personal interest. When they speak, they always create a narrative that will suit their own demand. They will always remove themselves from the original information and create a narrative they want people to believe. That is where every one of us have to be careful. If you are not careful, sometimes you will not dictate a propaganda until you yourself begin to preach propaganda. Sometimes you wouldn't know that what you are even preaching, what you are speaking about, is a propaganda. Sometimes it is hidden, very cunningly hidden in something that looks like the truth. Just like what happened yesterday. That somebody was trying to explain. The reborn, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was just recovering his personal property. Even when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said, IPOB does not belong to me. It doesn't belong to my family. You are scared. that the supreme leader has finally set the record straight and given the Biafrans a light. He didn't say your group is banned. All those your Muslim group, he never banned them. He acknowledges everybody. But we have a focus on the front. You want to go into competition, be your end. Competing with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the greatest mistake anybody will do in the struggle of Biafra. Once you go into competition with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you are done. You are gone. You are gone and gone because he has paid the price. He has paid the price with the blood. He has paid his price with blood. So it is not something that you think you can challenge and go scot-free. Propaganda encourages people to accept conclusion without proper examination. Propaganda, it encourages people to accept conclusion without proper examination. Like the instruction Mazi Nnamdi Kanu given, we are supposed to align ourselves with a direct instruction. It is not a parable. It's not a parable. The order was straight. Dissolve the DOS, sack the ones that have been sacked completely, sack the ones, the key actors that are going to be sacked, them. Not just dissolving the organization. End the era of the third DOS. You end that era. The fourth government came. The fourth inauguration of DOS, the fourth inauguration. When he established the fourth inauguration, then in that thought, the key actors were dismissed completely because of their behavior, which I'm going to read their behavior today. But some of us choose to misinterpret and confuse people. A responsible society should encourage critical thinking. Every one of us needs to encourage critical thinking. A responsible movement should welcome verification. Verify every information, everything you have been told. Verify. I have said it every time in my platform. Even the ones I say, verify it. Verify. Don't just run with it. A responsible audience should examine evidence carefully. Every evidence, examine it carefully. Facts should always be stronger than rumors. I have told you that here, my informations and my messages are based on reality, facts, not on wishful thinking, not on dreams and wishes, because dreams are not reality. Wishes are not, sometimes never come to pass. But we speak based on what we have seen and heard. Evidence should always be stronger than speculations. But it's unfortunate that today what we see, not just from Nigerian government, from the people who call themselves agitators, is blackmail, character attacks. That is what we see every day. Blackmails and character attacks. An issue worth discussing is the use of personal attacks, blackmail on public discourse. We have seen that play out many times in this struggle. Blackmail and personal attacks in public discourse. That is what is going on today against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is what has gone on against Mazi Simon Ekpa for many years. History shows that when discussion becomes focused entirely on personalities, important issues are often ignored. Important issues are often, but that is why when someone came to my platform, I was directing me on what to say, on what name to call and name not to call. I begin to wonder if your interest is Biafra or your interest is a name or someone that I should be able to call. I begin to wonder. Is your interest the restoration of Biafra, or your interest is a name that I'm calling? I can call. When discussion becomes focused entirely on personality, important issues are often ignored. Constructive debates examine ideas. Constructive debates examine policies. Constructive debates examine strategies. Constructive debates examine evidence. Personal attack rarely solve problem. So if you can go around and continue to attack me personally or attack anybody personality, it doesn't solve any problem. All those attacks on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, calling him this and that, on Mazi Nnamdi, it doesn't solve any problem. Character assassination really strengthens organization. But today we have seen character assassination so many times in this struggle. Once you don't speak the way they want you to speak, the next thing is they will begin a campaign against you. Either they call you a saboteur and they advise their people, oh, when you see, block his channel, do this one, report his channel, do this. Character assassination. It really strengthens organization. I'm not here speaking about my family or myself. I'm speaking about the general family, Biafra. I'm speaking about a restoration. So why would my message be a problem to you? I didn't tell people to leave your organization. Neither did I tell people to come and join your organization. I'm just on my own speaking about the issue of Biafra, focusing on my spirit leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and my prime minister, Mazi. Why are you troubled? I have made my choice. And I gave reasons why I made my choice, where to go. And I can back it up anytime, any day, even while I sleep. Healthy discussion requires respect, even where disagreement exists. I don't know why people find it difficult to engage in those healthy discussions. IPOB has been reborn. IPOB has been reborn, renewed, and this is the new era of IPOB. Deal with it. If you like, take it. If you don't like, go and hug the transformer. But it is a fact that is out there. It is not a dream, not a wish. It is a fact that the IPOB has been reborn. And I speak about the reborn of IPOB. I talk about the new IPOB. If you're not good with it, if you think that that is destroying your personal agenda, good for you. Good for you. I will speak more of it. I will continue to talk about it every day on my program, the reborn of IPOB. At least that is a genuine direction that we know where the instruction is coming from. We can testify that it is coming from, at least we have access to the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We can hear them. We have access to people that meet Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Just like we have access to people that have spoken to Mazi Simon Ekpa. And that is why our position of Mazi Simon Ekpa is strong. We have people who have met with Mazi Simon, spoken to him. We have been in a room where he called and we heard his voice. So that is why we are not moving, shaking. What does such a concept mean? When I say reborn IPOB, the new IPOB, what does the concept mean? What does that concept mean? When I say reborn IPOB, why are you scared about it? In order to make you not to tear your pants or commit suicide, the reborn or renewed IPOB is nothing but renewed discipline. A renewed discipline And this time, it is a different order. It means improved communication. It means stronger organizational structure. It means learning from the past. I take it again. For those who are confused, when I say reborn of IPOB, when I say the new IPOB, what does such a concept mean? So that they wouldn't confuse you. They are already telling you, why is he talking about reborn? Why is he talking about, why is it? Listen carefully. The reborn and renewed IPOB means renewed discipline. It means improved communication. It means stronger organizational structure. It means learning from the past experience. Every organization periodically faces moments of reflection and renewal. And IPOB have gotten its renewal. And I welcome it. Under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the supreme leader, such moments provide opportunity to reassess priorities. They provide opportunity to strengthen institutions. They provide opportunity to improve leadership structure. They provide opportunity to rebuild trust. That is what the reborn of IPOB and new IPOB is all about. Maybe you, I hope you're getting it. The true measure of renewal is not rhetoric. It's not just rhetoric. I'm not saying it as rhetoric or maybe to make you go gaga. No. The true measure of renewal is conduct. Conduct, that's just as we speak about the code of conduct. They bastardized the former code of conduct. They took the command and control to their person. They destroyed the foundation of the command and control and everything that was in the code of conduct. And today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have regained the IPOB, and the IPOB is reborn. And some of you who get angry about that, you are going to hear more of that from me. I stand 1000% with our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and wherever he leads, I follow. I also stand with our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, wherever he goes, I follow. Unmistakably, I know both of them to an extent. So I have no fear when they give their order and why they say what they say and why they act the way they act. As we reflect today, several important principles emerge. Yes. Discipline remains essential. Discipline remains essential. Secondly, truth remains essential. We must always remain true. Thirdly, unity requires mutual respect. We need to learn mutual respect. Fifth, organizations grow stronger when lessons are learned from history. Many of us are not paying attention to history. And that is why we are making a series of mistakes over and over again. The future of the movement depends not only on leadership, but also on the conduct of its members and supporters. Today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has set the ball rolling again. But the future, it still depends on us. Already you have seen people has already started attacking the good initiative of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are already attacking it, pushing their propaganda and creating different narratives just to destroy what the supreme leader have done. But they are going to fail. Every individual contributes to the image of the organization they represent. as you come to my platform to speak about any group, all those your mushroom group, you are a representative. And what you say represents where you are coming from. So you should be mindful. Before you click the link and come in here, you should be mindful. Because people are watching. People are watching. Every individual contributes to the image of the organization they represent. I know what I represent, and I'm not scared. I represent Biafra. Anytime, any day, come rain, come sun. I represent my supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and my prime minister. Anytime, any day. I can engage in any debate that has to do with them. Anytime, any day. I don't need a permission. And whenever there is a blackmail or propaganda against them, I respond without thinking twice. Every statement matters. Every action matters. Every decision matters. Don't forget that. Before we go into the conclusion, I think I have to read the statements that was put forward why this Department of Saboteur was dissolved. Let us go to that statement, and it reads, press statement for immediate release, public announcements by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Linkerfield from Germany, so released from Germany. 21st June 2026. I, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Supreme Leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, worldwide, head of the Biafran Restoration Project, undoubtedly, and Director of Radio Biafra, hereby announce the indefinite expulsion of the following members of the dissolved third administration of the Directorate of State from the indigenous people of Biafra with immediate effect. Remember, first of all was the end of the era. The third administration of IPOB was dissolved, and the fourth was inaugurated. That was the first thing that was done. And after that, they went gaga and continued their madness. And then this press statement came. And the press statement says, with immediate effects, the indigenous people of Biafra have to effect this with immediate effect. The following members of the dissolved third administration of Directorate of State from indigenous people of Biafra with immediate effect. Expulsion, indefinite expulsion, indefinite expulsion. And these are the names of the people that have been expelled, so that you wouldn't be confused. The order is coming from the Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Number 1, Chika Edoziem, Tony Nzumeke, Austin Agbanyim, Chukwudi Ofoma, Isaiah Oba, Collins Chinedu, Chinasa Nworu, Fidelis Ejioku, Chidimma Nworo Aka Juliet, Keke Uda. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. 10 people. Expulsion. They were having expelled completely from IPOB. Notice of expulsion. The above named individuals are hereby expelled from IPOB indefinitely. They cease immediately to represent, speak for, or act in any capacity whatsoever on behalf of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Order from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Historical context. The third administration of the Directorate of State was appointed by me, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, from Kuje prison. You know, I've said this time and time again. For those who are still doubting, you know, sometimes when you say they will say evidence, now Mazi Nnamdi Kanu released a press statement on that. The third administration of the Director of State was appointed by me from Kuje prison in March 2017. Its original 6 months tenure expired on 12 September 2017. Originally, they were meant to operate for 6 months alone. They were originally meant to operate for 6 months, which date expired on the 16th September 2017. Thereafter, its continued stay in office was solely at my pleasure and discretion as supreme leader of IPOB. Consequently, a change in the leadership of the Director of State is neither unprecedented nor extraordinary. Do you now understand? This dissolution you see is not something like, but that one that calls herself Nowa Chimedie, who is their spokesperson, somebody who is not a Biafran agitator, nor a member of IPOB, but they made her a spokesperson, continue to push her own narrative. The dissolution of the third administration of the Directorate of State constituted an administrative decision. The expulsion announced herein are disciplinary action arising from the conduct of the affected individual, both before and after that dissolution, and are founded upon repeated breaches of the IPOB Code of Conduct. Here, the reasons are given why they were sacked. So it's not just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu woke up and took a decision. Like that knock, I was asking the decision. How did he verify? How did he know? Who told him? How did he do that? Bunch of idiots. The indigenous people of Biafra is governed by its code of conduct, which remains the highest governing instruments of the movement. Every officer, coordinator, representative, and members is bound by its provision without exception. The authority to appoint, discipline, suspend, remove, dissolve, or expel any officer or administration of IPOB is vested in the office of the supreme leader. The decision announced herein are made pursuant to that authority and in accordance with the IPOB Code of Conduct. Where is the one that calls herself Lord Nega, who is interpreting code of conduct that he doesn't know about or haven't seen before? I know they will turn a blind eye to this because already their mind is made up for the evil, and we know where they're coming from. Soludo will be shocked. They are sponsoring, and very soon their salary will stop coming. And just as always, when you serve the zoo, you come in shame. Ground for expulsion. Now, I want you to hear the ground upon which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu expelled them. Why they were expelled. This aspect is very important. Listen to why they were expelled. The expelled individuals have been found guilty of serious breaches of the IPOB Code of Conduct and the binding constitution of the indigenous people of Biafra. That's the alleged act of misconduct include, but are not limited to the following. These are the major reasons why they were expelled completely. Number one, abandonment of leadership in detention. Willful abandonment of the supreme leader and other Biafrans in detention for years without adequate legal welfare or medical support. You know, when we are talking about that these people abandoned Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you know, that time it was a guesswork. When you say it, some will come and say, where is the evidence? Now look at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu speaking. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is telling us that they abandoned him for years. Not just him. If they can abandon Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who wouldn't they abandon? The one that called himself Karawat continue to claim he's doing this and doing that. But we know they did nothing. They were doing nothing. The second reason why they were dismissed, alleged obstruction of medical fundraising. Every one of us saw when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave an order in the court and said that fundraising should be conducted alongside with AFID and Rising Sun. It's on video. I still have the video with me. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say they countered it, countermanding the supreme leader's court directives for AFID, Rising Sun, and ambassadors for self-determination to raise funds for urgent medical treatment during a period of critical illness in DSS custody. We saw that order on video, and these criminals fought against it. They never obeyed that order. Now you are understanding it, right? When we were saying that these people were disobeying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and they were not paying attention to him, some of you thinking we were just, it's a made-up story. Mazi Nnamdi was the one that was shouting every time that they abandoned Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But some of you did. He was shouting at a point that Mazi Nnamdi would take charge. He took charge. He announced it live that he would take responsibility for the legal team and for his medical, his feeding. He announced it on air. Thirdly, alleged undermining of legal efforts. Persistent attack on legal representative and alleged attempts to undermine court proceedings with the assistance of certain political action actors in the Southeast region. You see, all these reasons, this, like people will say, why did Mazi Nnamdi take the decision? Who gave this thing Mazi Nnamdi is saying now is something that he is in the front. That happened to him. That he's witness of. It's not something that he has to go and investigate. These are issues that has to do with Mazi Nnamdi directly. His abandonment. How they were frustrating his case by attacking his lawyers, using some other means to destroy the legal proceedings. These were all Mazi Nnamdi was crying about, but people never believed him there. Number 4, reason why they were sacked. Attack on family members, making allegations against members of the supreme leader family with the intention of causing reputational damage. I said it here in one of my programs. When they were attacking the family of Mazi Nnamdi, it was not targeted on his reputation. You and I know that at a point in time, even the family of Mazi Nnamdi were attacking Mazi Nnamdi, but he never fought back. Mazi Nnamdi refused to speak to them. Even the wife of Mazi Nnamdi attacked Mazi Nnamdi, and Mazi Nnamdi told us, don't enter. None of us have any right to speak to her. Mazi Nnamdi will handle issue by himself. Mazi Nnamdi tried everything humanly possible to avoid speaking against the family of Mazi, even when they were against him and the wife. They pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. When he responded, I think it was only once. He responded, and that was all. He didn't go deep. But go online today. They destroyed the image of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his family using NEGA. They went ahead to bring his wife on a live interview to blackmail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and destroy his image. And they still think they will be part of IPOB. These were part of the reason they were dismissed. Number 5, disputed claims regarding court proceedings. Persistently maintaining that family members returned the supreme leader to the court following the court appeal decision of 13th October 2022. This one is one of the things that Law Neka is always running with. They cooked up this thing and they gave to Lord Nega. Not Lord killed her here. Which Lord Nega Chimezie. This was one of the lie they gave to Nega Chimezie, and she's going from one media or the other to put this lie. In her last appearance on what they call it, on VOP, she still spoke about it. She still said that it is the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his family that took him back to the court. But I want you to listen to the fact. This is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu speaking here, the evidence we have. This is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He said, number 5, disputed claims regarding court proceedings. Persistently maintaining that family members returned the supreme leader to court following the court's appeal proceedings of 13th October 22nd, rather than acknowledging the role of the legal team in subsequent proceedings. You understand it. Let's go down. You will understand it better. Disregarding of directive, repeated failure to heed warning, instruction, and guidance issued by the supreme leader regarding the direction of the movement. Every time Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told the direction of the movement, they disregarded it. Just like some people today are disregarding it. Just some people today are misinterpreting the reborn of IPOB. They are telling you that the IPOB is personal property of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If the personal business of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they are already misinterpreted. And very soon, I pity those who are going to buy into that perspective. They are already creating a narrative. Into that narrative that they are creating. You saw that narrative in my platform yesterday. They already started creating it. You must be very careful who you listen to. You must be very careful before you are misled. Repeated failure to heed warnings, instructions, and guidance issued by the supreme leader regarding the direction of the movement. Only Mazi Nnamdi can dictate the direction. It is a template by Mazi Nnamdi. Mazi Samariko played under the template of Mazi Nnamdi inside. Not a different template. If you remember, Mazi Nnamdi announced the new dimension. And that new dimension contains so many things. So it is still the template of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The new dimension is the template of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because he anointed it. Don't forget, he anointed the new dimension. Number 7, alleged sabotage through discouraging narrative. The DOS went ahead and began to create discouraging narrative, promoting the view that release would not be possible without abandoning the Biafran cause. Imagine. This is, sometimes we push this narrative without even knowing. That is why people have to always engage in critical thinking before you share a video or you talk about. Please think twice before you share a video or speak about it. Think again. This is one of the reasons these people were dismissed from IPOB, excommunicated, alleged sabotage through discouraging narratives, promoting the view that release would not be possible without abandoning the Biafran cause. A position said to have contributed to disobedience and internal disruption. You can imagine. They were pushing a program, telling people that let's Mazi Nnamdi Kanu abandon the Biafran struggle, he will not be released. That means he must abandon the Biafran struggle. They used that for the people. Circulating of unverified claims. We have seen that so much. Disseminating the claim that 2 African countries advised that the supreme leader should be abandoned in detention. You can imagine. They were pushing propaganda, telling people that some countries advised them to abandon Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in detention. There are 2 countries in Africa advised them to abandon Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as a way forward. You can imagine. Unverified lies. They just cook up lies and they run with it. Campaign to control the movement. Engaging in a sustained campaign allegedly aimed at undermining the supreme leader, standing while the supreme leader standing while pursuing political objectives inconsistent with the principle of Biafra self-determination. We saw it happen. They were trying to change IPOB to political pressure group. They were doing it over and over by their action, by their doings, by everything. We saw it, you saw it, I saw it. The only people who can pretend not to see it are the mischievous ones, which we know there are many who are mischievous, who will pretend they didn't see it. Number 10, attack on supporters of release effort. Everyone that supports the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they will attack the person. You see how they attacked Mazi Simon Ekpa. They attacked Mazi Simon Ekpa, did everything until they pushed him to detention. And they boast about it. You see Lola Neka come to TV and she boast that they were the one that jailed Mazi Simon Ekpa. A man who was fighting tooth and nail to put pressure for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They made sure he was jailed. Attack on supporters of release efforts. Persistent criticism of individuals who advocate for the supreme leader, including respected traditional rulers such as His Majesty Eze Agboso. Remember when the Eze Agboso made a case for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before Tinubu face to face? They attacked him. Instead of acknowledging and supporting, they attacked him. Why must he say so? And then so many other people. The major one is Mazi Nnamdi and this Eze Agboso. A very critical example. Conclusion. The leadership of IPOB reaffirmed its commitment to discipline, accountability, organizational integrity, and strict adherence to its governing principle. All members are expected to conduct themselves in accordance with the IPOB Code of Conduct and the objective of the movement. This statement takes effect immediately. This is the order that was given by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when he expelled. The reasons why this was expelled. So when we are talking about the expulsion, it is not just a made-up word, or maybe you just woke up from the sleep and we decided to talk about it. Or Mazi Nnamdi Kanu just woke up from the sleep and there were reasons we are given why they were expelled. Very credible reasons we are given. So don't get it mixed up. So, my fellow Biafrans, in conclusion of the message today, as we conclude today's presentation, let us remember that history is always watching you and I. History is always watching us. Future generation will examine today's action. They will examine today's decision. They will examine today's words. Therefore, let us value truth over rumor. Let us value discipline over disorder. Let us value responsibility over recklessness. Let us value constructive dialogue over hostility. Let us value facts over speculation. Thank you for joining today's special broadcast. Please share your thoughts respectively in the comment section. What lesson do you believe should be learned from what is transpiring today, the new dimension that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is taking, from the reborn of the IPOB? What lesson do you think should be learned? From the new era of IPOB, what lesson do you think of that? What is happening today? What lesson do you think should learn? Put it down in the comment section, respectfully. What role should discipline play in any movement? How can responsible communication contribute to stronger organization? These are questions we ask. You need to answer on your own. Put it down in the comment section if you can. Thank you all for watching, wherever you're watching from. Stay informed, stay responsible, stay committed, and stay in truth. Always stay committed to truth. Very important. Stay committed to truth. And may wisdom guide every conversation. I appreciate every single one of you that have been with us on this program to carry it this far. It is not easy. It has never been easy, but we must continue. I can see my brothers and sisters who are there on the comment section. I say, may Chukwu continue to guide and protect every single one of you. May Chukwu continue to strengthen every one of you. May Chukwu continue to inspire every one of us. No evil shall befall us. I pray for our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and our Prime Minister, Mazi Nnamdi. I pray that Chukwu will guide and protect them. No evil shall befall them. No weapon formed or fashioned against us as Biafrans shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shall prosper. Thank you so much for being part of this program. I appreciate every one of you, and I will see you again later in the day when I come for the evening section by the special research program. Thank you so much, and stay safe. See you again later in the day. Bye-bye.
The very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chiko kikabia mapuni ngeni chineke ngende sona efewe na kusiala nina ina koza hanso ya mbuni onanye na jama we kama nzozi zali anyana ge farusi obona nege ole kali ngeni nekele kama nekele obia ngendi nden so na kusiala ndio obadi ndio no one in Because you will make a difference with your source and no more and we're not going to but you know what? I would like you to know that someone is the cause of it. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not. I have come. Look what you do. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what happens in 5 years to come. Thank you. No. Show me where he says